Hello, love. Welcome in to your August 2026 predictions pick a card reading. My name is Kat, and I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today, love. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me as we tap in to receive the messages and insight and possible predictions of what we can expect to experience throughout the month of August. All right, love. So for today's pick a card pile choices, we are going to draw 4 cards from this deck here. This is Nature's Whispers deck. And we're going to draw 4 different cards, and each card will represent a different reading. And you will select the card or the pile that is most calling out to your intuition, the one that's pulling you in. And then I will have a timestamp listed in the description box down below or on the chapters of this reading that you can tap on, and it will take you directly to the beginning of when your reading starts in correspondence with the card that you have selected. All right, so let's see what our pick a card pile choices are today. Okay, so we have pile 1. All right, let's get pile 2. All right, pile 2. And I will show you what's on the other side of the card after we pull each pile. All right, so pile 1, 2, and 3. And let's get pile 4. There we go, pile 4. All right, so if you prefer to pick without seeing what's on the other side of the card, go ahead and take a moment now to tune in with your intuition and see which one is calling out to you, which one resonates with you. But if you do prefer to see what's on the other side of the card, maybe there's a sign or a symbol that can just offer you a little bit deeper of a confirmation that that is the card for you, we're going to reveal what's on the other side now. All right, so pile 1, you have 22 with Leap of Faith. Pile 1, 22 with Leap of Faith. All right, pile 1. I hope I didn't say pile 2. All right, pile 2, you have 43 with Love Matters. 43 with Love Matters. All right, pile 3, you have 18 with New Experiences and Possibilities. Pile 3, 18 with New Experiences and Possibilities. All right, and pile 4, you have 20 with Higher Ground. Pile 4 is 20 with Higher Ground. All right, love, so those are our card pile choices today. So go ahead and pick the card that is most calling out to you, to your intuition. And once again, I will have timestamps in correspondence with pile 1, 2, 3, and 4 listed in the description box down below or on the chapters of this video that you can tap on, and it will portal you directly to the beginning of your reading, which is where I will meet you. I'll see you there, love. Hello, love. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 1. So if you chose the first pile, you are drawn to the card 22, Leap of Faith. So we are going to set your card that you chose. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to start off by pulling your tarot cards from the Wildwood Tarot, just so we can get a full overlook about what this leap of faith is speaking towards. All right, love. So for your reading today, we are tapping in to receive messages of guidance and insight that is in connection to what you can expect to experience and be working throughout the month of August. All right, love. So if there is something going on in your life, something you know is coming up that you would like to receive insight or guidance on for the month of August, go ahead and take a moment now to set those intentions, ask those questions, and trust that you will receive the answers and guidance exactly when you're meant to. All right, love. So we're going to get one more tarot. All right, I'm out. No, all right. Just one more. All right, so let's see what your tarot are today. So we have 8 of Stones with skill. 8 of Stones with skill. All right, we have 2, the Seer. All right, 2s are likely following you. You have 2 here. You've got the 22. You may be seeing sequences of the number 2s. You also have King of Bows with Adder. All right, all the snakes there. And then we have 14, Balance. All right, another snake-like creature, although these ones have dragon heads here. All right, so snake symbolism is coming through very strongly for you. You also have the spider web on the Leap of Faith card. And you've got the falcon feathers and I almost wanted to say cheetah print. All right, so you've got strong symbolism coming through here for you if you chose pile 1. So with that, I'm getting this insight that you likely work with symbols in some way. And with Adder here, this could also be something dealing with like economics or finances. It could also be something spiritual because we have the Seer, the High Priestess there. Yeah, so something where you work with, or you're just interested in the study of symbology, such as animal guides, animal medicine, numerology, astrology, or something with numbers as well, like finances, maybe even numerology, or something dealing with economics, okay? All right, but with that being said, what I'm seeing for you overall in the month of August is there is something that you know it is time for you to move forward with and to take action upon. You've seen it, you've envisioned it, you've prayed for it, you've hoped for it, you've wished for it. And now you have received the insight and the guidance on what it is that you need to do to be able to move forward and restore the balance to what you have asked about or what you are hoping to pursue or to create in your life or in this specific area of your life. So your guidance is very straightforward here, pile 1. The month of August is going to be a time where you're going to have to tap in to your inner courage, to your inner strength, and to take a leap of faith on yourself and the visions that God has gifted to you, that the universe has gifted to you, your higher self has gifted to you, in order to create and call in the sense of balance that you're seeking to have in your life. So there's something that you really want, but it goes deeper than that. I'm seeing here it's not necessarily about what this path can give to you, but it's more about the path itself, the journey itself. So I'm seeing you've done a lot of inner work to come to this space of recognizing that it's not about the end goal, it's not about the reward, but there is still this energy of a hesitancy there for you to actually be able to move forward and to take the action steps and to do the work that you need to do to start creating what it is that you've been guided to create, or to start pursuing what it is that you've been guided to pursue. There's still a little bit of hesitancy there because of that past subconscious or conscious belief that you had that it was just about the end result and what you were working towards. But now you've done a lot of deep healing work to remove yourself from the attachment of what could possibly come of this path. Like an end goal, such as like a certain amount of money or a promotion or, being able to buy the big house that you want or the dream car that you want. I see that you've allowed yourself to really disconnect or detach your assumptions about what this path could potentially bring you when it comes to items of materialism or concepts of materialism. And so now it's just about the path itself, okay? But there's still that lingering energy that in the past you were attaching the journey of this path and the potential that this path could bring forth for you to some elements of materialism. And Spirit's coming in and they're saying, especially with the Temperance card here, that of course there is an overlapping connection of what it is that you're wanting to pursue, because we have the Eight of Stones here. So this is definitely about work, maybe career, maybe some type of like passionate pursuit, creative pursuit of something that you're wanting to create for yourself, and in the past you were hoping it could fulfill your monetary needs or your materialistic needs. And so yes, in some ways that energy does overlap, but I'm just seeing here in the past where you put so much emphasis on this path needing to absolutely be able to fulfill your material needs. But now you've removed that layer of it being a necessity in terms of the materialism that could come of it. And now you're just focused on your desire to just be in pursuit of whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So you're really stepping into this energy of being able to embody the saying, it's not about the end result, it's about the journey. And for you, it really is about the journey, because what you are hesitating to take a leap of faith on and move forward with is something that you're truly passionate about. It's something that brings you a lot of joy. It brings you a lot of peace just to be practicing it, just to be working with it, just to be creating it. So Spirit's coming in and they're asking, why are you denying yourself something that you're passionate about, something that you know you want to pursue, something that you've had visions and insight around, and you know it's something that's going to restore balance within the spaces of your life where things feel out of balance. Okay, so there's no need to hesitate anymore. Move forward fearlessly with with fierceness. Move forward fearlessly with fierceness. All right, lots of F's there, but yes, that should be your mantra for the month of August. Moving forward fearlessly with fierceness, with ferociousness. All right, with faith. You've got this, pile one. You've already had the visions. You know what may potentially come of this path. But at the same time, Spirit's asking you to not attach to that. And this is something that you already know too, because like I've said, you've done the deeper work. You've done the inner work to getting to this point of disconnecting from the notions of what could potentially come of this path. And now you're just focused on trying to get yourself onto the path itself. So keep taking those steps. But with the King of Bows here, I am seeing that things are going to move very, very quickly for you once you decide. All you have to do is make the decision to say yes to this path, and then start working with it with what you have now in the moment. And that is enough to get you on the path. Once you start taking those little baby steps, the rest of the path is going to open up and reveal itself to you, and things will be moving so quickly. You will no longer be worried about that end result at all, because you'll just be immersed in what it is that you're creating and what it is that you're working on, and continuing to follow the visions and the insight, the wisdom that your intuition gifts to you about this path as a whole, and the things that you create or happen upon as you continue walking upon this path. Okay, so August does feel like a very eventful month for you. It does have this sort of, it has this energy of being able to be like a really fun month, even though you're going to be working fearlessly, ferociously, endlessly. But it's because you're actually taking steps towards pursuing something that you've wanted to pursue for a very long time, and it's restoring a sense of balance in spaces where things have not felt balanced. Okay, so if there are spaces in your life that you felt were lacking, those spaces are going to now be fulfilled with abundance, with love, with joy, with support. All right, so things are doing a 180 for you here based on the decisions and the action steps that you take when it comes to following your own intuition and following the path that God, universe, your spirit guides, your spirit team has laid out for you. All right, love, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. Okay, so I felt really drawn to pull this deck out for our August predictions. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and this deck is new to me, so we are going to get familiar with it together, but I absolutely love this deck. All right, so we have Mars and Cancer popping out, flipping over with Coral. Number 4, you also have the 14 here, so sequences of 2s, 4s, 4 breaks down to 2. That's going to be following you around. Okay, so we have Mars and Cancer, so I'm getting this insight that you may actually have a placement of Mars and Cancer if you were drawn to this reading, so you may want to check out your chart and maybe read up on that. But let's see what else we have. All right, we also have Mars in Scorpio, Virgo. All right, Mars in, I get these two mixed up all the time. That one is Virgo. All right, and then we also have Saturn in Leo with generosity. Wow, and you have 4, 5, 6 here, but I'll leave them how they are. Okay, loves, so what's going on here is I'm seeing that the hesitancy that you are getting hung up on when it comes to moving forward upon this path is possibly one of two things. So one, you may have this fear of criticism coming in from other people outside of you, or you have attempted to pursue elements of this path in the past, and when you did, other people around you were critiquing what you were doing or the ways that you were going about it. Maybe they just had a lot to say and they thought they knew better than you, and it just weighed on you very strongly. And so there's a little bit of a hesitancy for you to want to actually move forward with this path, because in some way you are holding on to the words that others have spoke to you in the past about your connection to this path. So it's almost like somebody came in and they told you like you didn't know anything, you didn't know what you were doing, and you took it to heart and you left this journey because you believed them. But it keeps coming back up. You keep thinking about it. You wouldn't have the High Priestess here. You have built up skills and wisdom around this path because it's something that you're interested in. It's something that you're drawn to. I'm also seeing that it's very likely that the people who were criticizing you about what you were doing in this path had ulterior motives, whether they were subconscious or not. So maybe they had and like a jealous energy that they were just casting upon you to try to make you feel bad about yourself so that you wouldn't elevate upon this path. Or maybe they weren't even connected to this path at all, and you were listening to people who had no idea about what it is that you were doing or working on. So you were essentially taking advice or accepting opinion and influence from people who just weren't even skilled or knowledgeable in the path that you are pursuing. And so you were listening to people who had no idea what they were talking about, okay? And then the other one that's coming through is that it's very likely that the people that were criticizing you aren't even on this path anymore. They've left it and they've gone on to do completely other things because that path was not right for them. And so they were essentially giving unsolicited advice in an area of interest that maybe they had a little bit of knowledge, wisdom, and experience around, but it ultimately wasn't their highest calling, whereas it is your highest calling, okay? Because you have the High Priestess here, you have the Seer here. And so Spirit just wants you to know that you're listening to past opinions and influence and holding on to that fear that somebody's going to come in and critique you when those people had no idea what they were even talking about, or they were just trying to make you feel bad because they were jealous of how quickly you were learning and excelling and growing in this path. All right, so Spirit is saying that there may need to be some shadow work that you're going to be working through in the month of August to overcome the past criticism. So this could show up as you entering into this path and not exactly receiving the comments or compliments or feedback that you're wanting to get from it, okay? But Spirit's saying to keep working at it, keep moving full force ahead, because you are meant to be on this path. If those conversations come up where somebody's critiquing you, take it as constructive criticism and know that you are the authority in your life, and you do not have to listen to what somebody says if you didn't ask them to say it. And even if you did ask them for that advice or that guidance, you get to choose which advice, which guidance you listen to, which advice and guidance you don't listen to, okay? Just like in these readings, when I share pick a card readings, public readings, and even when I share personal readings, I tell every single one of my clients, every single one of my followers or viewers, take what resonates, leave the rest. It's up to you to choose what resonates with you and what doesn't. And if something doesn't apply, it's not for you. All right, love. So you get to decide what is for you, what you're going to allow into your energy field, into your mind, into your heart, and what you don't allow. And so if somebody's talking negatively in a means where they're not actually trying to offer you constructive criticism and they're just trying to make you feel bad about what you're doing, or they just don't understand because they're not interested in this path at all, and so they're just trying to kind of nag on you about it, you get to decide, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not listening to you. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? So that is something that you may come up on in the month of August. And it's also, so it's coming up again because it's also trying to teach you how far you have come when it comes to the experiences you had in the past when you tried to give this path a possibility of connection. Okay, so now you're kind of coming back around to it with a new head on your shoulders, a new light, a newfound sense of respect for yourself and what it is that you have to offer to this path as a whole. Okay, the other thing that's coming through with the Coral card here, again, Mars in Cancer. Somebody has Mars in Cancer. Check out your astrology chart if that's you. You may also have the Saturn in Leo or Mars in Virgo, but Mars in Cancer is coming up so strongly because it flipped over when I was pulling out the cards. But with the Coral card, what's coming up is I'm also seeing some quarrels with family members. All right, so you may get into some arguments with your parents, possibly about this path that you're pursuing. There may just be some, just maybe unsupportive energy going on there, some, unsolicited criticism coming in. And with that, Spirit's saying to just try your best to let it roll off your shoulders, continue focusing on the path that you have been guided to pursue, because this is going to restore the balance in your life as a whole. And so it will also eventually bring a deeper sense of balance to the connections that you have with those individuals in your life who are currently unable to support you because they may not see the same vision that you see for your own life. And they may I'm really strongly seeing that this coral may be with like a parental figure or somebody who was once an authority figure in your life. So maybe even like a boss or a manager, but very strongly parental figures is coming in. And so again, it's like that energy of where the parent thinks that they have a sense of authority over you and they want to give you their 2 cents about the decisions and choices you're making in your life when it comes to this path that you're pursuing. But you are now affirming and acclaiming that authority over your own life, just like I shared with the criticism card here. And the choices you're making and being able to actually pursue this path for yourself. So again, those battles, those conflicts are coming up to help you stand your ground and to just affirm and acclaim to yourself and to the relationships that you have in your life, even your parents, even your guardians, that you get to make these decisions for yourself with their emotional, mental support or not. All right, so just know that that may come up for you, and to, you know, just be mindful and try to be a little generous to them if you can. They're only doing the best they can with what they're given in terms of their present sense of consciousness and knowledge and their own perceptions about what it is that you're pursuing. They may just not understand it because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wisdom, they don't have the experience. Whereas you do, you've received that insight, that guidance, that clarity. All right. Okay, with the generosity card too, I'm also seeing some unexpected acts of kindness coming your way. All right. So maybe somebody's going to be bringing you flowers, gifting you flowers. Maybe you're gifting flowers to somebody else. All right. We've also got these two riding horseback here. So maybe somebody's going horseback riding, or you're happening up on like a field of horses. All right. We also have the snake energy here too. Maybe somebody that you're connecting with has a pet snake, and this is going to help somebody overcome their fear of snakes or just their animosity towards snakes. It may not 100% like help you cure your your fear of snakes, but you may come into a deeper appreciation for snakes and reptiles in general if you have that kind of perspective about, reptiles and snakes. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull your next oracle cards now. Okay, so we are going to pull 2 cards from the Woodland Wardens deck. So let's see. These are going to be animal guides and plant allies, but I was really drawn to work with the animal decks today, so we have one more animal deck that we'll be pulling your last card from. So you get 3 animal guides today. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have the lizard and pitcher plant with stagnation. The lizard and pitcher plant with stagnation. And we have 12 again, another 2. Okay, and then we have 49 with the horse and bluebell, modest fortitude. There's the horses again. All right, so horses are also significant. You have a lot of like same symbolism coming up in your readings. Even with the lizard there, that's a reptile creature. You've got the snakes, the dragon energy here. Horses, 2s, 4s. Okay, even the 8 is a breakdown of the 2s. Okay. So you're definitely seeing signs and confirmation. The universe, God, Goddess, your spirit teams, your angels, your ancestors are trying to communicate with you and help guide you toward this path. They are trying to help get you out of that energy of stagnation that you have been giving into because of the fear of criticism, because of what your parents, your guardians are saying to you about this path, because of the past attachments to that energy of desiring a bigger reward of materialism. Okay, just all these attachments to things that are not serving you. They are guiding you, they're showing you the way out of this, and right now it is through taking those baby steps and just deciding. First, it's just deciding that this is the path that you want to pursue. In some way you've already decided, because there's all this he said, she said energy going on around you in your mind that you're attaching to. And so once you allow yourself to disconnect from that and just start to pursue this path with actual action steps, and reaching out, doing the deeper work that you need to do to actually put yourself on this path physically, things will be restored. You will feel better internally. The answers for what's next will start to make their way into your consciousness, into your realm. You'll get those emails, you'll get those phone calls, you'll get that letter in the mail, you'll get the checks, you'll get the payments returned to you. But you have to start taking those steps. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the decision that you've made about pursuing this path. You've got this, pile one. I know you're working with a lot of shadow energy here. You're transmuting that energy. That's why we have the snake symbolism here. Represents that energy of transmutation and transformation, shedding the past to begin again, to begin anew. And for you, you're pursuing this path with a whole new perspective, where it's more about the path itself, it's more about the journey itself, and what you can give to the journey, what you can give to yourself through the journey. So you've got this, okay? Just start taking those steps forward. Despite what your parents are saying, despite what your friends are saying, they don't know anything about this path. It's time to connect with individuals who are completely connected to this path. Network with other people who have gone through what it is that you're going through now, and they will be able to offer you a deeper sense of support and assurance that this is something that is possible, even though you already know it's possible. Alright, love, so let's see what your animal guide is for the month of August. Wow, you have the tortoise. When changes are made for the sake of change itself, resist. Alright, so every time I see a tortoise, we hear that saying, slow and steady wins the race. Alright, even though things are going to feel as though they are moving very quickly for you in the month of August, remember that it's not about the materialistic reward, and so that is going to come later. Right now it's about the journey. The journey is what's going to feel very fast. You're going to be jumping from one thing to the next in order to set yourself up for success long term. Alright, this is a long-term journey. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to set up systems and things in place in order for you to ensure that this path is a long-term success and something that can remain balanced and not something that's teeter-tottering in and out of the energies that you've sort of been in. All right, we want you to enter into a space of being able to have systems that are consistent, that are supportive, that you can lean on in times when you need a little bit of a break. All right, and it's okay to take breaks too. Okay, that's coming up too, because it's okay to take breaks, even though you're going to be working fearlessly. I don't remember the saying I said, fearlessly, ferociously. It's okay to take breaks. It's necessary to take breaks. Okay, don't think that you have to try to get this all done in one day. All right, take a break when you need a break. It's necessary. Make sure you're getting your full 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep. All right, make sure you're well rested, well hydrated. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and not just trying to make something happen in 1-2 days, 2 weeks time. This is a long-term journey. You're in for the ride, okay? Okay, so this saying too, when changes are made for the sake of change itself, resist. All right, so with this coming through too, this is another lesson that you may be working through throughout the month of August, and maybe a little bit into September and October timeframe as well, is because you have the High Priestess card here and you're learning how to follow that inner guidance in the physical realm. You know that you're tapped in and intuitive on an internal and spiritual level, but I'm seeing here it's very likely that you haven't had a lot of experience applying that intuitive knowledge and wisdom in the external, and that's the path that you're now pursuing in the month of August. And when it comes to intuition and pursuing a path with the guidance of intuition, sometimes there can be little hiccups in the path, because intuition is not something that comes through so strongly with a message of guidance every day. Sometimes the guidance is to sit still and wait and be patient. Sometimes it's to go take a nap. Sometimes it's to just go take a walk in the park and, you know, lollygag about. It's not always about work. Sometimes the work is in the rest, it's in the stillness. So if there's something that you're trying to force a change around and it's not happening, that's a lesson that you're going to have to learn around surrendering and slowing down and listening to what your intuition is actually asking you to do in order to make what it is you're trying to make actually work and actually provide you with the results that you're seeking. Okay, loves. All right, loves. So your animal guide for the month of August is tortoise. You also have the horse and the reptile energy here with the lizard and the snakes. You had a lot come through for you with the animal medicine there. But that is it for your messages of guidance and predictions for the month of August 2026. So thank you so much for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below letting me know that you picked pile 1. Let me know what path you're starting to pursue. You're taking those baby steps around. I would love to be of support to you on this journey that you're pursuing. And if you would like to go a little deeper with me, I do offer personal readings and healing sessions. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, which I'll have linked in the description box down below. You can also send me a message on YouTube now. We've got these new messaging features on YouTube, and so if you'd like to book a reading with me through there as well, you can just send me a message on YouTube and we can get one set up for you. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of August. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 2. So if you were drawn to pile 2, you chose the card number 43 with Love Matters. And I love that this is 43 because we all know 143 is that I love you energy. So that's really cool that it aligned like that. All right, loves. So for your reading today, we are going to start off by pulling your tarot cards, and we are using the Shadowscapes Tarot deck for your reading today. And we are tapping in to see what messages of guidance and insight you need to receive in relation to what it is that you're going to be working throughout the month of August. So if there's something that you know is coming up for you in the month of August, or there's just something in your life that you would like to receive insight or guidance around, go ahead and take a moment now to set those intentions and ask those questions, and trust that you will receive the insight and guidance exactly when you're meant to. All right, so your first card actually flipped over and you have the moon, 18 the moon. But let's get one more card and then we'll reveal the rest of your tarot. All right, so we have 18 the moon. We also have the 10 of Pentacles. All right, let me show you the moon card. The moon card. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Cups. All right. And we have the 3 of Cups. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, so if you chose pile 2, I'm seeing that you may have been going through it for some time, loves. I feel that your relationships, friendships, romance, maybe coworker relationships, maybe employee to employer relationships have taken a bit of a turn, and you've had a hard time in these connections and these relationships. Okay, I do see here that it's been very difficult for you because these are connections and relationships that you hold a lot of love towards, but there's just something kind of that's been going on there. Okay. Oh, okay. And so Spirit's bringing me back. So they're saying if this is something that you've been going through where you've had a challenging time connecting with certain individuals in your life, in the month of August, you're going to be coming back around to those connections. Okay. So we did just have Mercury retrograde take place in the month of July, basically the entirety of the month of July. We were working through that Mercury retrograde energy. And so for some of you, it's possible that you had somebody from your past reach out to you during that time, and you may have been sort of battling with whether or not this was a relationship that you really wanted to initiate back into your life, invite back into your life. And now that Mercury's shifting direct, and as we move into the month of August, I'm seeing that this is something that you may actually decide upon pursuing. Okay, so that may not resonate with everyone, but on the other side of that, if you've just been having a challenging time with specific relationships in your life, this is going to turn around in the month of August. You're going to be able to make peace with these connections as they are now. Okay, so for some of you, you may be deciding to fully release the binds of your attachment to those connections, and then for others of you, you may just and making peace with it. Okay, and then for others of you, you may just be reaching out, reconnecting, and rebuilding the relationship from where you're at now. So sort of overcoming those conflicts that you're facing with those individuals. Okay, so let's see what else is coming up here with this 10 of Pentacles. I feel for a lot of you, the month of August, it's going to be a little bit slower paced for you. You may be more introspective in the month of August, and just sort of reflecting on your relationships as a whole and which ones actually allow you to feel a deeper sense of love. All right, to actually feel loved and to feel supported in these connections. Some of you may be going back home, visiting your elder relatives, visiting your parents, your grandparents, maybe taking a trip to a place that you went when you were a child, like maybe sort of like reliving like an old family trip. So maybe there's somewhere that you used to go with your family every summer and you're deciding to go back to that space once again and revisit it. Or this could just be a tradition that you've carried on your whole life and it happens in the month of August. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards. Let's get a little more. I just feel like the month of August for you, it's going to be very slow pace, very relaxed. Yes, you're going to be working on those relationships and those connections with others, like rekindling the flame or deciding to make peace with those situations. But other than that, it just feels like it's a very healing month for you, where you're going to just be diving deep, being more introspective and returning to a space of love and support in your life. There could also be a celebration coming in. So for somebody, maybe if you are expecting a child, maybe you're giving birth in the month of August, maybe it's a little bit early, a little unexpected, but there's like a celebration to be had. It's going to be very positive. Okay, so nothing to worry about there. Just with your cards are very, very positive energy. There's just like this subtleness to it where you're just going to be doing your own thing and in a space of reflection, maybe going on vacation and just sort of embodying the slower life for the month of August. Things won't be so fast paced. You won't really be trying to get, all the things done. You'll just sort of be reminiscing and having fun and just enjoying life and taking it day by day. All right, but let's see what your oracle cards are. So these are from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck, and this deck is a little new to me. Okay, so we're getting familiar with it together. Okay, so you have the Sun in Virgo with health. Sun in Virgo with health. All right, we also have Venus in Sagittarius, with flirtation. Venus and Sagittarius with flirtation. Let's just cover this up just in case YouTube wants to be silly. All right, and then we also have Mercury in Aquarius with originality. Yeah, so definitely love and romance, friendship-based connections are something that's going to be coming in for you in the month of August. So if you are seeking a romantic connection, it's very likely that you will be meeting somebody in the month of August, specifically around the 9th to the 11th, 12th of the month. middle of the month, making new connections, going on dates. And it's going to feel as though this is somebody that you have always known. All right, so this could be a past life connection where you're connecting with someone from a past life and you just hit it off right away. You just vibe with one another. It feels like a soulmate connection. It feels like you've always known this person. And I'm also seeing that this relationship that comes back into your life for some of you, so for some of you, this relationship could be a new connection, completely new connection where you've never met this person before, but it could definitely be a past life connection. Or this is somebody who's returning to your life, like we talked about that Mercury retrograde energy, but as they're returning to your life, they are a completely different person than who they were when they met you. They've done a lot of growing. You've done a lot of growing. You're both in completely different spaces and states, and you have different perspectives about life and what's important to you as individuals and to each other for the relationship to be able to work. Okay. So I'm really getting some twin flame vibes here. That is definitely a twin flame energy of a return. If you don't resonate with that, it could just be like a soulmate connection that is rekindling back into your life. Okay. But what I'm seeing around that too is that when you start to pursue and open up to connecting with this connection, once again, whether you're rekindling the flame or connecting for the first time, this individual is going to open up a whole new world to you of what it means to be loved and to be supported. Like you're going to feel a connection of love in a way that you've never felt before. It's going to feel so real. It's going to feel so positive and original and unique. It's going to be something you've never experienced before. And it's going to be a really beautiful connection that is going to provide you with a deeper sense of healing for all the previous connections that you had in the past that didn't work out because they weren't providing you with the deep sense of love and support that you required when it came to those specific types of relationships in your life. So things are shifting in a big way for you in the month of August when it comes to love and romance or friendship connections. Okay. And even though I said it feels like for the month of August things are going to be really slow and subtle, this is not, even though this is something where you're going to connect and just vibe and it's going to feel like things are moving very fast, it's almost like that, like when you watch a movie and they're like just in their hotel room together, they meet for the first time, a couple meets for the first time, and they're just in the hotel room together, and it's like the world stops spinning. It feels slow, like nothing else matters. It's a really beautiful energy of love that's coming in for you. And my loves, I do not always give readings like this, okay? Usually I try to stray from this because I don't want to give you false hope. So this may not resonate for everyone, so just take this if it resonates for you and leave it where it doesn't. But something around love and romance is coming in a very beautiful, strong way for some of you in the month of August. And then for others of you, it's just that you are reconnecting with old connections in a new light where the energy of love and support is coming back in and returning. You've taken time to go your separate ways and do your inner healing work as individuals, and now you're able to come back into each other's life with a deeper sense of love and support and respect for one another. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your next oracle cards. So we're going to pull some oracle cards from the Woodland Wardens deck, and this deck has animal guides and plant allies. So let's see what your animal guides and plant allies are. And I was really drawn to pull out the animal decks today. So your last card will also be Another animal guide from a different deck. But let's see what yours is. No way! This came out in the same position in pile 1's reading. So if you were torn between pile 1 and 2, you may want to check out pile 1, but of course listen to your intuition when it comes to which readings you listen to, of course. Alright, so you have number 12, the lizard and pitcher plant with stagnation. Yeah, things feel really slow for you in the month of August. You know, I actually feel like pile 1 may not resonate with you because that was more of a fast-paced energy. All right, so your second card here is number 2, the spider and passion flower with creative ingenuity. The spider and passion flower and stagnation. Okay, so it's very likely that in the month of August, you are going to be receiving new ideas of creative pursuit. There's something that you really want to be creating, and I'm seeing in the month of August, it may not be the right time for you to actually start pursuing that creative project, but it is something that you are finessing the ideas around. You're getting like your lists made of all the tools that you'll need. You're, writing out like an outline or mapping out the sketches for what you want to design, what you want to create. But it's very likely that you won't be able to really move forward with a lot of progress on this project in the month of August. I'm seeing it's unlikely that you won't be able to see any actual progress on this creative pursuit until October. Maybe like the end of September, but October is coming in very strongly there. Okay, so if you're getting an influx of creative ideas, write them down, start planning them out, start mapping out how you're going to go about creating them, but know that it's okay if you don't have the capacity to start actually taking steps towards bringing it into physical creation. This is something that you're more so weaving the web around as to how you're going to catch the little bugs that you want to eat. You're not really like building your sense of abundance just yet. You're not fully creating, you're just kind of mapping it out, okay? So just know that. And if you do start to take action on those creative plans, again, there's just going to be this energy of some setbacks going on. Maybe you'll come down with something and it'll push things back a little bit. Maybe like a cold for a couple days. Nothing too serious though. Just, there's just a lot of healing that you're working on in the month of August. A lot of changes when it comes to your perspectives and insight around the connections in your life. And that can take a toll on your energy. And so that's why it's very likely that in the month of August, you're going to be more in an introspective state and not really extroverted and, applying all the things that you're thinking about and reflecting on and reminiscing on. Okay, so once again, you get those ideas, those original ideas, write them down. Another thing is to keep them to yourself. Protect your ideas until you're able to show some means of result around it. All right, protect your ideas. Don't share them with others because they may actually have the capacity to pursue it, and you don't want to give your original ideas away to somebody else to bring into creation before its time is due. Okay, so ultimately Spirit's coming in and they're saying they're gifting you with this creative insight, this original idea to create something very beautiful, to create something magical. It's very likely that it's connected to the experience that you're working through of the relationship messages that we gave today in your reading. And so you're going to sort of take something that you've worked through and create magic with it, create something beautiful from it, but you may not have the capacity to actually put it into place just yet until October time frame. But Spirit's coming in and they're saying protect your ideas. You are the protector of those creative ideas that were gifted to you from the divine. It's your responsibility to hold them and keep them safe, love them and nurture them until they're ready to bloom, until they're ready to blossom and be shared with the world and others. They're not ready yet, okay? All right, love. So we are going to pull your last card now from the Animal Messages deck. And we're going to see what your animal guide is for the month of August. All right, so let's see what yours is. Okay, so we have the Badger. Abandon, compromise, and fight valiantly for what you believe in. Badger, abandon, compromise, and fight valiantly for what you believe in. All right, is this relationship one that you care about? Is it one that you love? And Spirit's coming in and they're saying, even if you love this relationship, okay, you have to think about the most important relationship in your life first and foremost. And that's the relationship that you have with yourself. And so if somebody outside of you is asking you to abandon yourself for the sake of being in connection with them, that is not worth it. It's never worth it to put somebody else above yourself. I will say with the exception of the children coming in, all right, because we do have that child card there. But there are some instances where it's important to still put yourself first and foremost in all situations and all relationships. And so if you need time to decide, to reflect, take that time. Take that time. All right. And on the other side of this, for those of you who are considering reinitiating a past relationship into your life, if this is somebody that you deeply care about and you're only pushing them away because of XYZ outside influence, because of past experiences, even though your eyes are perceiving that they have changed, they are different, they've made the changes, and your heart is asking you to connect with this individual, they're finally able to show up and give you the love that you desire and that you deserve. They're able to support you in your endeavors, in your truths and your beliefs. Then fight for it if that's what you desire, if that's what you want. All right, but you have to get still. You have to get quiet with yourself and dig deep and really reflect on what will allow you to feel loved, what will allow you to feel supported, what will allow you to feel good, to feel healthy, to feel that sense of support. So take your time, okay? There is no rush with you making these decisions. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to weigh out your options, to reflect, to consider. Consider yourself, consider the possibilities of what may happen, what may come in if you invite this person back into your life or into your life for the first time. All right, love. So for the month of August, you're definitely going to be working on relationship themes, taking time to yourself, maybe going on a vacation, and receiving an influx of creative ideas. The energy will be a bit more slow paced for you, okay? So don't stress if things aren't flowing in the ways that you want them to flow. That's just a sign to slow down and surrender to what is available to you in this moment, and to tune in and reflect on what's actually going on internally. All right, love. So that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. And I'd love it if you commented letting me know that you chose pile 2. And if you would like a bit deeper support as you work through this energy in the month of August, I do offer personal readings and healing sessions. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, or you can use YouTube's new chat feature and send me a message through the YouTube chat feature, and we can set up a personal reading for you. I also have testimonies on my Instagram highlights if you want to check those out. Yes, so thank you so much once again, my loves, for tuning in. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed, that's your energy. It's like, oh, what's next? What's next? Wait. Okay. All right, loves. But anyways, thank you so much. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of August. Until next time. Bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into those of you who were drawn to pile 3. So if you chose pile 3, you were drawn to the card 18 with new experiences and possibilities. That's exciting. Some new things are definitely coming in for you during the month of August. All right, love, so we are going to start off your reading by pulling out all your tarot cards. We are using the Shadowscapes Companion tarot deck today. So while I'm shuffling and drawing your cards, if there are any questions or intentions that you would like to set in connection to the guidance we're going to be receiving for the month of August 2026, go ahead and take a moment now to set those intentions and ask those questions. And trust that you will receive the answers and guidance exactly when you are meant to. All right, love, so your cards do not want to come out. And as I say that, we have the King of Swords jumping out and flipping over. So I'm getting this feeling, though, that there is some resistance to the new path, the new experience that is available to you. One extra card coming out. Okay. Let's see what your tarot cards are. Let me show you the King of Swords. So we have the King of Swords. So you do have clarity of mind on something. You have strong ideas. Ace of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Yep. But you're not moving forward with it. But this month of August, you will be propelled to move forward with it. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Five of Wands. Every single card except the King of Wands here represents you moving forward and taking action with this idea, this endeavor. You also have 19, the Sun. You will be victorious. You will be glorified on this path. All right, so your message is so straightforward. Your cards are very straightforward. There is a new experience. There is new potential that is available to you. And you know this, mind, body, and soul. You know this. You know it is time to move on from something. It's likely that you already moved on from something. It feels more like you've been in that sort of liminal space of fully allowing yourself to leap into what's next. And so in the month of August, you're going to be putting one foot in front of the other and just taking those steps to get into a rhythm with the new spaces, the new experiences, new connections, new situations that are calling you forward, okay? All right, if you're drawn to pile 3, it's very likely that you have fire sign placements, all right? Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. If not, that's okay. That's just a confirmation for someone specific who may have been drawn to this reading. All right, so let me see. Let's go a little deeper here, because just on the surface level, Spirit's just coming in and they're saying it's time to move forward. It's time to take action on something. Okay, so they're coming in and they're saying there's possibly some hesitancy for you to move forward with this path because it's a new beginning, all right? Maybe you've had to restart over and over and over again in the past, and now you're at the precipice of yet another new beginning, and you may just feel tired. You may be tired of constantly having to leave something, process, start over, leave something, process, and start over, okay? But Spirit's saying this time is going to be different. And not that it's going to be different in the sense of comparison to the previous paths so Spirit's saying this time is going to be different in the sense that you are going to find joy, you're going to find happiness, you're going to find abundance, love, and support in the path that you're pursuing. And so they're saying, like, in comparison to the previous paths that you have had to leave behind and move on from, it's not necessarily that you didn't have a sense of joy and peace and fun and abundance in those connections and situations. It's just that this time it's going to feel different. It's going to feel more like home. It's going to feel like this is it. It's going to provide you with the acceptance that you may not have to leave this path behind in the ways that you've left those previous paths behind. Okay, so just an example coming through here. We're going to use the example of work. This example may not resonate with you, but this is just the example to show you the energy of what I'm seeing. Okay, so in the past, maybe you tried a variety of different jobs. Maybe you label yourself as a jack of all trades because maybe you've taken a job taking care of children, and then you left that behind. So then you got into a sales position, totally different from taking care of children. Now you're in a sales position, working with customer service all day, trying to make sales, you work on commission. Then you decided to leave that behind and you went into mechanics, or yeah, we'll say mechanics. You did automotive work. All right, you did something with machinery, totally different from sales and taking care of children. And so now you've left the mechanics behind, left the sales behind, left the children behind. Now you're entering into a completely new field, a new industry that is totally different from those other three. And so what Spirit's saying around this new industry that you're entering into, it's that it's going to feel like home to you. So that if you do come up on a time where you have to leave behind the specific job that you're doing, you won't throw it all away to shift to a totally new industry. You'll actually say, well, even though I have to leave this specific job or this specific company behind for what I'm doing now, it doesn't mean that I can't continue doing what I'm doing now. Okay, so let me see if Spirit will give me an example. They're not giving me an example because the new industry that you're in, it's very unique to you. And they don't want me to layer it with a label because they're saying it may sort of steer you one way or the other and start questioning the path that you're on. So you know what new industry, what new experience or path you are pursuing. Okay, same thing with like relationships. They're coming in and saying, so, you know, maybe in the past you dated a certain type, then you tried a different type, then you tried a different type, and now you found a type and you're like, yeah, this is my type. And even if you leave that connection in the future, you'll still resonate with individuals who have similar, you know, appearance or stereotypes or ways of being. So it's going to sort of clear the path forward for you to know exactly what it is that you want, because in a way the path that you're walking towards now is going to give you a sense of grace when it comes to your inner knowing and providing you with the awareness of, this is what I want. This is what I've been looking for. I finally found it. I'm home. This is what lights up my life. This is what makes me feel on purpose. This is what makes me feel good. This is what makes you feel loved, supported, rejuvenated, cared for, and seen. So the month of August feels very freeing for you. It does feel as though you're going to be very, very busy. All right, we've got the Five of Wands, the Ace of Wands here, representing this very, very busy energy. And it's only because I feel for most of you, you've been in a space where you haven't been taking a lot of action. You've been gaining clarity, seeking clarity on what it is you want to do when it comes to the next steps in your life, the next stage of your life. And now you have that awareness, you have that clarity. And so Spirit's saying the month of August is the time to start applying what it is that you know you want to seek after in the physical spaces that you're existing in, to start building up that physical sense of safety and support, and to materialize what it is you've envisioned for yourself on an internal, mental, and emotional level. Okay, so it will be a very busy month in the external because you're building something, you're growing something, you're learning something new. Okay, some of you may be signing up for school, maybe certification courses, to learn this new means of work that you're entering into, this new industry. Maybe you need to take some classes or just brush up on your skills and knowledge around this industry that you're entering into. I'm also seeing if you're entering into a new relationship with somebody, you may be taking classes together just for fun. So maybe doing like a cooking class or a pottery class or a painting class, or going to like the paint and sip nights. I'm also seeing like maybe you're going to go bowling together, playing tennis or racquetball, just doing something fun that maybe you hadn't really done before, something that's really new to you but you always wanted to do, or it's something that this other individual that you're attracted to and aligning with really enjoys doing and practicing, and they want to invite you into that space and show you why they love it and see if you enjoy it too. So be open to trying new things in the month of August, all right? New is your key word here for the month of August. Be open to new things. I'm almost feeling guided to tell you to practice that yes energy when, you know, people say I'm gonna be a yes man, I'm gonna be a yes woman, for a brief period of time. Sometimes people do it for a whole year. So we're saying try it for the month of August. If somebody invites you out to do something, say yes. You never know what will come of that invitation or that interaction. If someone invites you to do something new that you've never tried before, say yes. All right, if you get a letter in the mail to register for some classes, say yes, give it a try. You know, you never know what you'll learn, you never know who you'll meet or what you'll experience from those new experiences and possibilities. All right, oh, we can put the sun there. Okay, let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. So we are pulling oracle cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And this deck is a little new to me, so we are getting familiar with it together. Okay, your cards are... Oh, you have an extra one again. All right, you're extra, the extra pile here. So be a little extra in the month of August. Embody that Leo energy. We are in Leo season until August 22nd. So Leo is all about, you know, putting on a show, dressing up, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting new outfits, going out on the town and showing off your new looks, your new this new persona. So, and having fun, you know, just having a lot of fun. Leo loves to have fun. So go out and have fun. Embrace the Leo season energy. Okay, we have 3 with decision. Mars in Gemini. All right, and we have drama. Mercury in Leo. Number 5. Leo also likes a little drama. That's true. All right, and we have Saturn in Cancer with charity. Number 4. We have Mars in Virgo with criticism. This came out, I want to say, in pile 1's reading as well. All right, look at this. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you also have 2 5s here. So 5s may be significant to you. And then this is also representative of taking steps. But the way in which this is ordered is we go from 3 to 5 to 4 to 6. And so from 5 to 4, it's like, you know, you may be taking a step back here and there. And that's sort of that energy that you've been embodying, where you've just felt really tired and feeling like you're constantly having to take 2 steps back every time you take 1 step forward. But again, things are going to be different for you in the month of August, even if in some ways you do have to take a step back to go back and learn something, or to redo something, to retry something. That is your sign to slow down and ask yourself why you're having to redo this. Okay, what is this moment actually teaching you? It's not actually a step back, it's just a learning moment for you to reflect on if this is something that's actually worth your time, if it's something that you actually care about. Because there's this like overlaying energy of, you know, maybe you're trying to rush through it, trying to just get something done, and not really taking the time, care, and attention to make sure that you complete it to the best of your abilities the first time so that it can work the first time. You're just maybe like trying to rush through it, which is that Five of Wands energy. Just rush, get it done, get to the next job. And that may be a habit or something that you learned from a previous experience, line of work, or a connection that you were involved in. And so now in the month of August, if that happens, this is your sign, this is your guide to slow down and just tune in. Ask yourself why you're trying to rush through this process. If you're rushing, it's because one of two things. You are either not being present. Okay, well, you're definitely not being present if you're trying to rush. You're like trying to rush through it so you can go focus on what you actually want to be focusing on. And then two, it's because it's something that you're not actually meant to be doing. You're just trying to rush through it just so you can get it done to actually get to doing the things that you're actually feeling called to do. Okay, so slow down, be present when you find yourself getting caught up in a rush and when things aren't going to plan the first, second, or third time. Alright, so you may be playing chess, alright, in the month of August, maybe brushing up on your chess skills, learning how to play chess for the first time, maybe even joining a chess club. Alright, we've got Leo energy. I'm feeling that strong Leo energy here with this Leo card. This Sun card can also be representative of the energy of Leo, because Leo is ruled by the Sun, and of course we're in Leo season for the majority of the month of August. So Leo season is going to definitely have a big effect on you. You are definitely coming out of the cave, coming out of your shadow side, and entering into a new space of light and allowing the world to see you for who you really are and what's within you. All right, so it's like there's this energy of something that you've been keeping locked away, you've been hiding it from the world, from yourself, from your family, your friends, and now this Leo season is helping to provide you with the confidence and the energy to move forward and outward, to embody what you think and feel about yourself internally in the external. So it's time to come out with this energy, come out of the closet in a sense, and share the truth of who you are. Shine light on who you are with the world and others around you, even if it is challenging, even if there's like the shadow energy behind it. Okay, so there may be some hard things that you've gone through in the past, and I'm seeing that through you allowing yourself to express, open up, and talk about those hard, challenging experiences that you've gone through, those dramatic situations, those criticisms that you've received, the aspect of feeling as though people were pitying you or bullying you. I feel that you're going to feel propelled to open up and speak about those situations and experiences in the month of August, and you're going to be surprised at the feedback and the support that you receive in return for opening up and speaking your truth about these experiences that you have had to navigate through on your own. You will no longer have to be navigating through those experiences, the emotional attachments, mental attachments that you have to those past experiences on your own. There is a new path opening up for you to see that support, love, joy, abundance, prosperity, and good connections are available to you now and on your path forward. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull some more oracle cards. So we are going to pull a couple oracle cards from the Woodland Wardens deck. And this deck has animal guides and plant allies on it. So let's see what yours are. Okay, you have another extra card. What's going on, pile 3? Extra. All right. So we have the Coyote and Datura with Deceit. All right. We also have the Deer and Oat with Healing. Yeah, so these came out together because you are overcoming any negative experiences that you've been holding mental and emotional attachment towards from those past experiences. You are overcoming those mental and emotional blocks. You're able to now see the truth of what those situations were actually showing you, what they were actually providing you. in terms of your self-growth and your soul growth. And now the path for you to move forward without that mental and emotional attachment is very clear and available to you. This shadow energy is no longer going to be hanging over your head. You're going to be able to move forward with fearlessness, with confidence, with trust in yourself and authority over yourself. All right, let's see what your other one is here. Wow, we have the duck and chrysanthemum, number 10 with luck. You also have 15 again. Didn't you have 15? No, just the 5s. You have the 5s. All right, so you have the duck and chrysanthemum with luck. Somebody may have a pet duck. All right, maybe you have a pet bird. But lucky, you are very lucky in the month of August. Luck is on your side. And more than just luck, but it's like good experiences. The universe is going to be showing you that good things still exist in your life. Where you thought you were, okay, so like in the past, there were moments and experiences and connections that you would have to navigate through. But as you would approach certain situations and experiences, you would really brace yourself because of the mental and emotional attachments that you were holding on to from previous experiences that created this mental and emotional attachment of insinuating fear over specific scenarios. And so you would really like brace yourself with this fear-based energy when you would come up on specific situations. So some examples coming through, maybe like when you'd have to meet someone new, when you'd have to go on a date, you'd brace yourself with a guard. Okay, because maybe you've had really terrible bad first dates. And so, you know, it's normal, it happens to everybody, but you'd have this like energy of a strong guard up, bracing yourself, which would prevent you from being able to make a truthful, honest connection with somebody and to actually be open to pursuing a possible connection with them. Okay, another example is a job interview. Maybe you've done so many job interviews, you weren't getting selected for them. So at a certain point, every time you'd approach a job interview, you'd start to brace yourself for the denial, for the rejection. But now, in the month of August, you have received a newfound clarity of strength and confidence over yourself. And those situations in the past that you would come upon and brace yourself, put a strong guard up, that energy is now going to be fallen away. It's removed from your energy field. So you can move forward with strength and optimism and positivity that what you want to happen or what is meant for your best interest is what is going to happen above all. And so now the universe is responding to that energy of assurance and reclamation that you're putting out there for yourself and your path moving forward by providing you with positive experiences of good luck, of good blessings. So that's very exciting for you in the month of August. Things are shifting here. All right, love, so we're going to pull one last card for you. I was really drawn to pull out the animal guides for the month of August. So we're getting one more animal guide from a different deck. So let's see what yours is. All right, and this time you just have one, my extra pile 3. All right, let's see what we have. Wow, you have Badger. This came out in pile 2's reading, I believe. All right, Badger, abandon compromise and fight valiantly for what you believe in. Yes, you are 100% embodying the Badger energy now and forever. You know what you want. You are the King of Swords. You're on top of your game mentally, emotionally, physically. You are so strong. You are courageous and brave, and you know what it is that you want, and you are not letting a simple no stop you from getting what you want in the month of August and moving forward upon your path as a whole, because you've done so much inner healing and shadow work. You've overcome so much that you have held emotional and mental attachment to from the past, that now you have this newfound clarity, which is blessing you with an up level in your means of confidence and trust and authority over yourself and your life path as a whole. And so just like the badger, you don't give an F. You're going to get what you want. It may not exactly be on the timeline that you want it, all right? Just like we shared with that guidance of you maybe taking a couple steps forward, feeling as though you're getting pushed back a bit. Okay, that's just another thing that you have to reflect on, gain deeper insight on, in order for you to continue to progress forward on the path that you know you want to be on. But at the end of the day, you know it's not just a no, it's just a not yet. And so you're going to continue to move forward with a fearlessness and with a positivity that you're going to make this happen no matter what. And that's exactly when and how the sun will be shining down on you to provide you with those blessings of good luck, with those blessings of gold and abundance and joy, happiness, and peace that you have been seeking for. All right, loves. So that is it for your August 2026 predictions. I thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance and insight for you to help you as you work through this new month of August that we are about to enter into. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love it if you commented down below letting me know that you chose pile 3. Let me know what messages resonated with you. I would love to hear from you. And if you would like a bit more support as you work through this energy in the month of August, I do offer one-to-one personal readings. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, or you can use YouTube's new chat feature and send me a message on here on YouTube, and we can set up a personal reading for you. I also have testimonies in my Instagram highlight at selfunity once again. So if you want to check out my testimonies, you can check them out on there as well. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of August. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome in to those of you who picked pile 4. So if you were drawn to pile 4, you chose the card number 20 with higher ground. Higher ground. What are you seeking higher ground upon in the month of August 2026? Let's see. So we are going to start off by pulling your tarot cards from the Wildwood Tarot deck. And so while I'm shuffling, loves, if there's anything that you would like to ask a question about or set an intention to receive guidance on in connection to what you may be experiencing and working through throughout the month of August 2026, go ahead and take a moment now to set those intentions and ask those questions, and trust that you will receive the guidance exactly when you are meant to. All right, so let's see. What does pile 4 need to know? All right, your cards aren't coming out, so we're going to draw them out today. All right, so first we have the 2 of Bows with decision. We have the Knight of Stones with horse. Okay. We have the Page of Bows with stoat. We have a lot of court cards coming out in our readings for the month of August. And we have 10 of Arrows with instruction. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, loves. So this to me feels like we are starting off with something going on in a relationship. So it's very likely that in the month of July, there was some type of quarrel or like a little tiffle or something. I don't know if that's the right word. Like just something going on with another individual, and it created a lot of indecision in the connection. And you've been reflecting on that relationship in your life as a whole. And this is going to be a different type of relationship for everyone. It may not be romantic. It may be a more platonic connection, a friendship-based connection, maybe a connection that you share with somebody at work, or maybe even your relationship with your company or your job as a whole. And I'm just seeing here that in the month of July, you are likely working through the means of reflection on whether or not this is a connection that you wanted to remain connected with. And so now in the month of August, you are finalizing your decision around whether or not you're going to stay in that connection and sort of take the higher ground, or if you're going to take the higher ground and leave the connection as a whole. So no matter what choice you make, there is a change that is going to happen in this connection, in this experience, because if you choose to remain connected with this individual, with this work environment or home environment, whatever it is, it's a relationship that you share with something outside of you, but it does involve other people. So you're likely deciding whether or not you want to leave this situation or experience behind, or stay with it and work it out, because of the different personalities or the rules, the policies, that's the word, the policies. Maybe the policies have been changed, and so you've been reflecting on whether or not this is something that you want to stay connected with, because maybe you don't fully agree with the policy changes, or maybe they're affecting you in a deeper way than the company or the landlord is making it out to be. Okay, whatever it is, no matter what decision you take of, staying in connection to this relationship or choosing to leave it behind, change is abound. There is a new beginning of sorts that's going to happen for you in the month of August. Okay, so if you choose to stay in connection with this individual, with this company, with this home, this landlord, whatever it is, changes have already been initiated. And so you're going to have to learn how to accept that those changes and start to sort of conform to them in the ways that is expected of you. If you choose to leave it, then a whole new world, a whole new beginning is going to open up for you. Of course, you are going to likely be taking some time to process and fully release what it is that you're choosing to leave behind. But it does feel like that will happen simultaneously with you seeking new connections to fulfill what it is that you have chosen to leave behind. Okay, so if you've chosen to leave behind a job, you'll be processing the pain of that loss while you're looking for new work. Okay, so these things are going to be happening side by side for you in the month of August, depending on what your decision is around the connection that you're either going to accept the changes about or decide to leave it and move on towards something that is more in alignment with what you're willing to accept into your life. Okay. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. We have this 10 of Arrows instruction. For some of you, it may be time for you to speak up about something, all right? If there has been a situation where change has been implemented and you didn't ask for that change, you have a right to speak up and start asking questions about why those changes were implemented, especially if there's something that you don't agree with, okay? So there may be a call for you to speak up and to educate others about the rights of the situation, the wrongs of the situation. And I know that's a big task to take on for some individuals, but if you see something is wrong, you see something isn't someone isn't being treated fairly, maybe you're not being treated fairly, maybe this is your sign, your confirmation to speak up and address the situation, confront it head on, because not only will you be doing a service and justification for yourself, but for other people who may also be being affected by these changes that aren't speaking up as well. Okay, I am seeing here that this does feel like a bit of a lost cause, though, in the sense that the other individuals that are initiating these changes, they are not wanting to go back on what they have implied. Like, they're saying it's this or get out. So it's almost like an ultimatum energy here. It's either you accept these changes or you no longer are going to be in connection with these individuals, with these environments. Okay, so just be mindful of that, but just know that through you speaking up and giving voice to the wrongdoings of this situation will provide inspiration and encouragement from other individuals to also speak up and address these situations as a community, as a collective. All right. No one's going to do this for you. You have to be the one to open up and speak the truth about what it is that you're seeing. But with the higher ground card here, I do see that it's very likely you're essentially going to have to take the higher ground approach to this, and you're going to have to show research-based facts. You're going to have to share experience-based information, and when push comes to shove at the end of the day, you may also have to just do what you could do, say what you could say, and then leave it behind. Okay, so there are changes that are abounding for you in the month of August that may be a little bit heavier for you to work through. This could also be in part due to the eclipse season that we are entering into. So we have the solar eclipse new moon in Leo taking place on August 12th. Okay, and then we have the full moon lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So from that new moon, okay, so the new moon on August 12th, it's likely that around that time you will be making the decision as to whether or not you want to stay committed to this connection despite not agreeing with the changes that have been implemented, the ultimatums that have been made. And then come the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, you will be able to put it to rest. You'll be able to take the higher ground to see that you did the best that you could do with what you had, and to start paving a way towards a new path that will be more supportive, that will actually listen to you and consider your ideas and input about what you require of these specific connections as a whole. Okay. All right, love. So some things just coming up. Somebody may be learning archery. Maybe you love to practice archery. So maybe this is something that you're going to be doing in your free time. Also, weaving is coming up. Something with weaving. So maybe, what's it called? The cross stitch. So you may be doing cross stitch, working with needle and thread, maybe sewing machine work, crochet or knitting. But I'm also seeing like traditional weaving, maybe making like friendship bracelets or bandanas, like accessories, maybe making accessories with thread. All right, so very specific message for somebody coming in. That may be something that you are also just practicing and learning for the first time in the month of August, or it's a hobby that you're returning to, or it's just something that you already do consistently and you're just going to continue doing that in the month of August. And this could also be a practice that you return to as a means of relief for those bigger things that we just talked about that you're going to be working through during this month of August. Okay, another thing coming up is stoats, otters, mongoose may be significant animal guides for you. We also have the horse here, so horse energy may also be significant to you, and then roses may be significant to you as well. Okay, all right, love, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. So we are first pulling oracle cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck, and this deck is a little new to me, so we are getting familiar with it together. So let's see what we have. Okay, so we have 3 adaptability. Yes, August is about being adaptable. All right, we have 7 harmony. Spirit wants you to know, though, you have a choice. All right, we also have 5 with affair. Let's cover up that little tush and front facing, because YouTube has an issue with the human body. All right, so, okay, so what was I saying? Okay, so, oh, Spirit was saying you do have a choice. Okay, don't forget that in the month of August. The changes, the ultimatums that are going to be given to you or presented to you are not a definite. It is not necessarily something that you absolutely have to stand for or just lay down and accept. Okay, you are not a dog. You do not have to just roll over and accept that this is something that you have to do to get good points or to get a treat. Okay, there's like a caveat coming in around something with like maybe the justice system. If you are going through an experience with the justice system, Spirit saying you still have a choice, or there is just a means of you needing to reflect on previous choices that you've made and how you can prevent yourself from coming up upon these experiences and situations in the future. All right, but speaking to everybody else, you have a choice. You always have a choice. That's why we have the Two of Bows here, is because you have a decision to make here. You can settle for what has been initiated of a means of a change or an ultimatum in your life path, in this specific connection in your life, and you can adapt to it. Or you can choose to say, no, I'm not going to do this, and then adapt to that new information of you having to now find a new means of connection to fulfill what it is that you're saying no to, what it is that you're releasing from your life. Okay. With the Harmony card coming out though, oh, I didn't share, we have Moon in Gemini, Sun in Libra, and Venus in Leo. Okay, so with the Harmony card coming out here, Sun in Libra, this is all about balance. Okay, so this situation is helping you to navigate this energy of finding balance in your connections. So what's coming through now is it's very likely that in the past, when you've come up on experiences, relationships of situations that have required you to stand up for yourself, to confront a situation, to say, hey, I see what you're doing, but I don't agree with that, or I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree with that. Let's find a compromise. I'm seeing that in the past, you did not do that. You did not address those situations by confronting them. Instead, you likely chose to up and leave and run away. But in the month of August, you are being given an opportunity to actually confront this situation, to stand up for yourself and for others, to address the wrongdoings, to address the policy changes, to address the simple fact that ultimatums are not okay to be made. And so you are being given a new option to address these mirror situations to past experiences in a new way. And even if that other individual or that community, that company, landlord, whatever it is, does not want to meet you halfway and compromise with you, or does not want to go back on their changes that they've made, at the end of the day, you are initiating a new way of being for yourself and standing up for yourself. So even if you have to choose to walk away from this path, this connection, you will find harmony in knowing that you did the best you could with what you had. You spoke up for yourself and for others who could not stand up for the changes that were being implemented upon them without their input being allowed. Okay. All right. So with the affair card, so this is only if this is something you are already working through. I'm seeing that some of you may be struggling with a connection with another individual, romantic connection, because of something of an affair with another individual, with a third party. That is only if you're already aware of this. Okay. That's not a prediction for somebody. That's not something you're going to be finding out. This is something that you're already working through in connection to the messages that I've been sharing already. Okay, you're deciding whether or not you want to continue with this relationship because of information that you have found out about this other individual. On the same side of that too, I'm also seeing maybe you have friendship connections and you found out information in the past where they were lying to you or they weren't being completely honest with you. There was just some deceit going on where maybe you tried to make plans with them and they told you they already had plans, but they didn't. Maybe they just didn't want to get together with you. And there's something going on where they're not being completely honest with you. And the same thing can be applied to all the experiences that we've been talking about. Something going on with the company not being honest with you, something going on with your landlord not being honest with you. And so you are truly going through the gamut of having to decide what it is you're going to do for yourself in connection to these relationships moving forward, whether or not you're going to stay and work it out and come to an agreement, or just deal with what they have presented you with, or you're going to up and leave and seek something out that is more supportive, that is more honorable to you. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull your next oracle cards now. So we are pulling a couple cards from the Woodland Wardens deck. And these cards have animal guides and plant allies. So let's see what yours are. All right, your cards do not want to come out. It's very likely that you are feeling a resistance to, you have two cards coming out, a resistance to this experience as a whole. And it's understandable, but this is something that if you do not start dealing with it, based on your own choice to deal with it, you're going to be pushed into dealing with it. And it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be more emotionally grueling. It's going to force you into spaces of adaptability so you can get to the other side of it to receive the harmony that you're seeking. But you have a choice right now to decide to deal with this, to face it, to confront it, to fight for the compromises that you desire, or to decide to leave it behind with honor and grace. All right, the choice is yours. All right, wow, look at that. We have the weasel. All right, another little critter like that. So we have the weasel and pine with introspection, number 9. And then we have 3, the hare and oak with new opportunities. And you also have 15, the deer and oat with with healing. Okay. The deer and oat with healing and oak. Okay, so somebody maybe has a name with these letters, O-A, in it. Okay. Maybe their name is Oak or like Owen. I'm just seeing that their name starts with the O-A, or they have like letters of O-A in the middle of their name. All right, so very interesting, unique message for somebody specific there. All right, but let's see what's going on here. All right, so Spirit's telling you that when things in this month get too challenging, okay, when they get really heavy, when they get emotionally, mentally heavy, when you're not quite sure what to do, that is a sign for you to slow down and to go within and to reflect on what's coming up within. All right? You don't have to do anything but just allow yourself to slow down and let yourself process. All right? When the emotions start to run high, just go take a walk outside and be with your emotions. Let yourself cry. Scream into a pillow if you have to. Go scream outside if you can. Just get the energy out. Allow it to process, to move through you. And through that experience, through you allowing yourself to express what it is that you're feeling internally, the answers that you're fighting for, the guidance that you're seeking will naturally come to you. All right. So when you're feeling out those emotional purges, tune in to what thoughts are coming up in connection to those emotions that are moving through you. That is where your answers are. And my loves, it is very likely that when you go through that experience of receiving the awareness, receiving the inner guidance of what it is that you need to do, it's very likely that you're going to want to push back against it because you are being asked to do something that you normally wouldn't do. You're being asked to confront a situation where you normally would just turn the other way. You would just run away from it, leave it behind, not deal with it. But the universe is forcing you into situations where you have to face this head on. You have to stand your ground. You have to stand up for yourself, or you have to just put on your big girl panties, put on your big boy panties, and deal with it. Work through this one-on-one together. And I know it's hard. I know this is hard. I know it's hard. It feels very heavy. It feels very hard, but you are going to get through this. You're going to get through this. You are learning so much through this experience about yourself. You're learning what it is you are willing to stand for versus what you're not willing to stand for. You're learning how to respect yourself. You're learning how to fight for yourself and for your rights and for your desires. And you're also learning how to work with other individuals who may not truly have your best interest at heart, because of course all individuals only have their best interest at heart. And so you're learning how to navigate through a series of compromise, of having to adapt to other individuals' ways of being, ways of seeing things. And so there's so much that you're going to be working through in the month of August when it comes to your relationships and connections to individuals and environments in your external world. All right. But this experience, this time in your life is providing you with new insight, new perspective, and a means of deeper healing. So it may feel as though you're going through sort of a dark night of the soul experience, diving deep into shadow work, but you're digging deep so that you can see just how strong you are and how you do have the means, you do have the capability of being able to overcome even the hardest of situations that are seeming as though they do not have your best interest at heart. And it's because you have to have your best interest at heart, and you have to say that for yourself and stand up for those best interests, and provide that to yourself through using your throat chakra, through using your voice, or through making decisions that you don't necessarily want to make to get yourself out of these situations that are not supporting you, that aren't honoring you, that aren't respecting you. Or you're going to learn how to overcome those situations with another individual and grow, or our community, you know, if this is with your company, through a community environment, and just see how much strength you have to be able to grow through challenging situations that require adaptability, that require re-navigation, in order to just see how strong you are, how capable you are, and how much you can grow through to get there based on previous commitments or agreements, contractual agreements that you have made with others. All right, loves, so we have one last card here. I drew this from the Animal Messages deck, and this is going to be your animal guide for the month of August, along with all the other animal guides that we have coming out here, but this will be the one for you. All right, so let's see what it is. We have Rhinoceros. Still the chatter within to see your true path in life. Still the chatter within to see your true path in life. All right, it's very likely that you really love a rhinoceros spirit animal guide. This may be your spirit animal, or there's somebody in your life, maybe an elder, like a grandmother or an older auntie or an older uncle, who just really loves rhinoceroses. Like maybe they collect them, or maybe they send you pictures of them all the time, or videos of them, or they talk about them. They talk about how important it is to save the rhinos. So something with rhinos is very significant and symbolic to somebody tuning in watching this. But on the other side of this, rhinoceros is asking you once again to slow down, to still your mind when things feel very heavy, when things feel very challenging in the external, specifically in your relationships and those challenging connections that you're going to be working through in the month of August, because it is in those moments of stillness and silence that, one, you'll be able to expunge that heavy energy, that heavy emotional energy that just wants to be expressed, that just wants to move through you. And then through that release, you will come into the awareness and the inner knowing of the decisions, of the choices that you need to make for yourself. And it's very important that you not only come to those decisions, but you do the hard work and you actually follow that inner guidance that you receive from yourself, because that is what is going to align you with the new opportunities of healing, peace, and harmony that you are fighting to receive of this situation, from this situation. All right, my loves, I thank you so much for letting me bring forth these messages of guidance for you. I know this reading, August 2026 predictions, were a little bit heavier. It seems like you are working through some tough things in this month of August. So if you do want extra one-on-one support, I would love to work with you one-on-one. I do offer personal readings. We can go a little deeper. You can have direct guidance, direct support from me to help you through this time. But I am wishing you all the best. I know that you will get through this. I know that you will make it through this time in your life. It's just a heavier time, but once again, you know, it's just a moment in time. It will pass. It's just teaching you something more and deeper about yourself and the strength that you possess, and it's guiding you closer towards the inner knowing of what's actually going to bring you joy and what's actually going to bring you fulfillment in your life and in the connections that you invite into your life. Okay, love, so I am wishing you all the best as you work through this energy. I thank you so much once again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give this, if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below letting me know that you picked pile 4, because I would just love to give you a little comment of extra love, extra support as you work through this energy this month. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of August. Until next time, bye, love.